Why guardian dogs don't guard goats where you expect. Most people picture a guardian dog standing in the middle of the herd, constantly surrounded by goats, watching them eat, sleep, and move. So when they see a Great Pyrenees or Anatolian lying 50 yards away up on a ridge near a fence line or staring into empty space, their first reaction is confusion. They assume the dog is distracted, the dog doesn't care, the dog is lazy, or worse, the dog doesn't know how to guard. But this assumption comes from thinking like a caretaker, not like a guardian. Guardian dogs aren't assigned to the animals themselves. They're assigned to the environment around them. And that difference changes everything. Standing in the middle of goats feels intuitive to humans because we think protection means being close enough to intervene. But intervention is already failure. By the time a guardian dog needs to physically react, something has already gone wrong. Guardian dogs are designed to prevent encounters, not win fights. That's why their instinct pulls them away from the herd and toward boundaries, elevation, entry points, pressure lines. The goal isn't to babysit goats. The goal is to make predators hesitate long before goats ever sense danger. From a tactical standpoint, the middle of the herd is the least useful place to be. From there, sightlines are blocked, smells are diluted, movement blends together, sound is chaotic. A dog in the center can only respond after something enters the space. A dog on the perimeter controls the space itself. That's why experienced guardian dogs naturally gravitate outward. They aren't leaving the goats, they're expanding the protective bubble around them. Predators don't charge into open ground blindly. They probe, they pause, they watch, they circle. They move along tree lines, fence edges, drainages, game trails, shadows. Guardian dogs know this instinctively. They don't wait where goats are comfortable. They wait where predators would feel safest approaching. When a dog places itself on an edge, it creates psychological pressure. A predator doesn't see a sleeping dog. It sees a sentry, a problem, a risk that can't be measured. Most predators turn away long before humans ever know they were there. Guardian dogs develop patrol routes the same way predators do, through repetition and outcome. They learn which paths get used, which areas feel wrong, where movement usually appears, where scent pools collect. Over time, this creates a mental map. That's why you'll see a guardian dog rotate between the same few spots: a corner post, a low fence section, a rise overlooking the pasture, a narrow pass between terrain features. It's not boredom, it's threat anticipation. The dog is checking probabilities, not wandering aimlessly. One of the most misunderstood guardian behaviors is choosing high ground. People assume the dog just wants a breeze or a better view. But elevation gives 3 critical advantages. Vision. Movement is easier to detect against open terrain. Scent. Air currents carry smell upward. Sound. Subtle noises travel farther. A guardian dog on a ridge can detect danger minutes earlier than one lying beside goats. Those minutes determine whether a predator commits or abandons the approach entirely. A predator that's detected early slows down, changes direction, loses confidence, leaves. A predator that's detected late is already invested. That's why elevation matters more than proximity. Here's something most people miss entirely. Goats read the behavior of the dog, not its distance. When a guardian dog is calm and stationary on the perimeter, goats relax. They spread out. They graze normally. They rest without clustering. But when a dog stays in the middle constantly, moving, pacing, reacting, goats become alert. They sense uncertainty. A guardian dog holding edges communicates stability. It tells the herd, nothing is entering this space. That's real protection. Some owners try to fix edge behavior by pulling the dog back in. They'll call the dog repeatedly, move it physically closer, restrict its range, confine it to smaller areas. This usually backfires. The dog loses early warning, control over approach angles, its ability to intercept psychologically. You end up with a dog that's physically closer but strategically blind. Predators don't care how close a dog is to goats. They care whether the dog controls the approach. The best guardian dogs don't protect individual animals. They protect territory. They manage pressure, movement, boundaries, confidence. When a dog controls the space, livestock safety becomes a side effect. That's why well-guarded herds often look boring. No drama, no chasing, no chaos, because nothing ever gets close enough to matter. If a guardian dog truly abandons perimeter behavior, it's rarely an instinct problem. It's usually a system problem. Common causes include poor fencing that removes clear boundaries, inconsistent livestock placement, human interference disrupting patrol routes, no meaningful predator pressure to learn from. Fix the environment and the dog almost always reverts to edge guarding on its own. You don't train this behavior, you allow it. One of the hardest things for new owners to understand is this. If you never see your guardian dog do anything, that doesn't mean it's failing. It often means it's winning quietly. No attacks, no chases, no visible conflict. Just empty edges and calm animals. That's the goal. So if your guardian dog isn't guarding where you expect, don't ask, why isn't he closer? Ask, what does he see that I don't? Because chances are, he's not missing danger. He's not avoiding work. He's already standing where the threat would come from. And if predators aren't showing up, that's not absence of guarding. That's proof that your system is working. If you enjoyed this video or if you learned something new, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching.